Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the SCSRA Morris Customs Truck Series here tonight from Kansas Speedway on iRacing. I want to thank everybody for joining in tonight. Again, whether you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, or on Twitch, we do appreciate you joining us here tonight as we get ready for 110 miles, or 110 laps, around Kansas Speedway. Matt Scott in the 35, currently quickest at the top of the leaderboard. Rick Ward currently second, Devin Butchino in third, Brett Merle and Cody Moore round out your top five. So a lot of parity up at the front of the field. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. We see Cody Moore up at the top of the leaderboard. Devin Butchino sitting in second. Both those drivers are locked into the playoffs with their win. Jeffrey Belk sits back in third. Brian Merle Jr., Jay Stinson, your top five. Eddie Morris, Blaze Richardson, Brian Boyd, Joey Hickox, and Matthew Fritz make up your top 10. A lot of rookies up in our top 10 right there. Then Ryan Gomes and Charles Ballas, your top 12. Those would be the drivers making it to the playoffs if the playoffs were to start right now. But we still have plenty of racing left in the season. We are just in race number 4 here at Kansas. I want to, again, thank everybody for joining us here tonight. And one thing we're doing special here this week with the SCSRA is Remembrance for Memorial Day week. So you'll see a couple drivers out on the racetrack. Drivers like the 8 of Eddie Morris, who have a patriotic scheme on their truck. See that red, white, and blue machine of Eddie Morris. Another driver I saw out there that had a patriotic scheme out there is the 82 of Joe Wright. And I believe Devin Butchino has that digital camo scheme on his truck as well. So Memorial Day, remembrance of our fallen service members. We want to thank each and every one of them who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. And of course, we always want to talk about our great partner over at Mission 22 as well. So we'll, tonight's a good night to also talk about that. We'll give that a shout out a little bit later in the event. There's a 127 of Matt Allen, way down on the apron, getting a little loose there, coming through turn number 4. Catches the wall. Oh! Hard into Cody Moore. Good thing this is just practice right now, because that would have been devastating if that was to happen during the race. As we see Cody down on the inside. That was a hard hit for both drivers, and from what I've heard, the track is incredibly slick out there. Let's take a look at the racetrack information. See, Kansas Speedway, just over 1.5 miles long. The air temperature is 79 degrees, partly cloudy, but look at that track temperature, 121 degrees. This track will be slick tonight, so watch for these drivers, especially as the tires get older, start slipping and sliding around these trucks, as we got about 40 seconds before we get ready to go racing. A couple driver cams here tonight as well. The 41, another patriotic painted truck here. The 41 of Charles Ballas will be rocking one of our driver's cams tonight. And Eddie Morris should be rocking one of the other ones, although it says that he's having a little technical issues here. So we'll see if that camera gets up and running in a few minutes. We got qualifying just about to get underway here tonight at Kansas. Of course, before we get qualifying underway, we want to thank all of our great partners here that make this racing possible, including our series sponsor, Morris Customs, for all your iRacing paints and needs. Visit facebook.com/Morris Customs. There's a link down below in the description. Of course, Dev Sports Cards, you can check them out on eBay at Dev Sports Cards for all your sports cards and memorabilia needs. Of course, Race EPI for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs. Visit raceepi.com. As well as support the channel by visiting intensitybroadcasting.com for hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, novelty t-shirts, what have you. Find it all over at intensitybroadcasting.com. You can find Atman Weiss's gear over there as well. And finally, we want to thank our great partner, the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. The products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is a new and upgraded sim haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To figure out which Butt Kicker product is right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. And we got drivers out there making their laps right now. We see the 43 of Dave Hartney run that high line through turns 3 and 4, trying to get as much speed as he can as he comes down across the stripe to take the white flag on his first of 2 laps. Up to the top of the leaderboard. Cody Moore jumps up P1 currently. As Dave Hartney shuts it off there after going P1. Now Matt Scott jumps up to the top of the leaderboard in that 35 machine. Braxton Zog just came across the line, currently 8th quickest as Cody Moore drops down to 3rd. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, what a qualified run for him, currently up in the 4th spot. We'll see if that holds up. As we have Gan Cyphers, who just came across the stripe to take the white flag. Down across the stripe and Cyphers. He's going to stay in the 13th position currently. Joey Hickox just came off of pit road, getting his qualifying attempt underway. See what other drivers we have out on the racetrack. We see Eddie Morris making his way around the racetrack right now. It doesn't look like Eddie is going to be carrying our camera tonight. But the 41 of Charles Chucky Ballas out there, and he is carrying one of our driver cams. If you see him, oh, get a little loose there through the travel, able to hold on to it. Give you a great view of just how much he's working that wheel down into the corner. Again, these trucks incredibly loose here tonight in the hot heat here in Kansas. We'll check back in with him in a little bit, as Jay Stinson has gone to the top of the leaderboard. That's going to do it for Ballas, who's going to be back in the 21st position. Joe Wright out there on the racetrack in his qualifying attempt underway, right up against the wall, trying to get as much speed as he can. As Joseph finishes his qualifying attempt here, we're going to make a special little pull-in right now. Let me bring in one of our drivers right now. Got 1 second, see if I can. Be right back with you guys. See if there's any other drivers. Devin Butchino out on the racetrack now. Get his qualifying run underway. Devin Butchino right there on the bottom of the racetrack. Waiting for Brian Boyd to make his way down to the waiting room. Here it is. We'll bring in the driver of the 77 machine, Brian Boyd. Brian, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, I got you, buddy. How you doing?
Man, doing well. I know you had a little special announcement you wanted to make here tonight.
Yeah, we got 5 special guests that are watching us tonight. I put one above the door. He goes by the nickname of Boo-Hoo. So if you look at my truck, it's got Boo-Hoo above the door. That's in honor for him. His first name's Jake, and then there's two little girls named Annabella and Gracie. They watch, and then as well as Marcus, and this is sad to say, but I can't remember the last one. Sorry for the noise in the background. I'm trying to find it here. I had all their names pulled up. There's Chase, Marcus, Annabella, Grace, and this truck's going to be done for Boo-Hoo. I'm going to try and get it. I'm going to try and get a diecast replica made for the little man.
See right here on the back of the truck, we've got the drivers or the kids' names mentioned there. So awesome shout out. I love it. I love when we get the kids involved, and it's really cool to see them shout it out like that.
Boo-Hoo's got a box that he races against us, just so everybody in our race knows. We got a little 5-year-old that he's whooping up on us every time he watches us race, just so everybody knows.
Awesome, man. Well, we love to get the kids involved. Of course, I just had Lahoma just say that thank you. They're smiling. Boo-Hoo's jumping up and down. That's really, really cool. So they're in there watching, and they appreciate it. So I always like to bring the smile to the kids' faces.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's about the new generation coming and the kids coming up.
For sure. Well, Brian, I'm going to let you get ready to go racing. Good luck here tonight at Kansas. And how you got that hot rod tuned up tonight? How you feeling tonight?
I feel pretty confident long run. We'll see what it's got.
Awesome, man. Well, I think it's going to be a long run truck here tonight, especially in the heat. So good luck, and we'll catch you after the race.
All right. I got you.
Have a great one.
All right. Thanks, man.
Well, Brian gets ready to jump up into his race truck and just see he's got his box ready. Mom's trying not to cry. Hey, like I said, this is what we do. This is what we're here for, to entertain you guys, bring the show to you, and if it makes some kids happy along the way, that's an even bigger bonus. So definitely appreciate you guys tuning in, and it's awesome to see the younger generation as well getting ready. But we're going to get ready to go racing here on Intensity Broadcasting. Let's take a look at our starting grid with your pole sitter tonight, the 31 of Jay Stinson, Devin Butchino, to his outside in position number 2. Then Matthew Scott and Dave Hartney make up row number 2, and Cody Moore and Rick Tillman back in row number 3. Rolling off from the fourth row, 7th position, the 77 Brian Boyd carrying that Boohoo truck. And Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the 8th position. Rolling off from the top 10, you've got Matthew Fritz and David Wright. From the 11th position, you have Max McCarty with Matt Allen rolling off from 12th in the 127. Back in 13th, we have Joseph Wright and Joey Hickox with Brett Merle and Ryan Gomes rounding out row number 8. Row 9 is Richard Hurst and Rick Ward. And then Blaze Richardson and Eddie Morris finishing out row number 10. Ryan Gomes will roll off from the 21st position with Brian Merle Jr. from the 22nd position. Gan Cipher is in 23rd. Braxton Zog back in 24th. And rounding out the field here tonight will be the 41 of Charles Chuck Alice. So again, 110 laps here tonight is the distance. Our stage break will be on lap 40. And Boohoo says, thanks, Gator Man. And we got that truck still here on the screen. So again, awesome shout out here tonight. I love it. And again, anytime we can make the kids happy, that's where it's all about. So Jay Stinson's got that Blue Ridge Auto Group on the front row, along with Devin Butchno in the Dev Sports Cards machine. As the pace truck gets ready to take that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road, we get ready for the green flag. It's in the air, and a great jump for Devin Butchno, who's going to beat the 31 to the line. And on the start, the leader must get to the line first. So I don't know if Butchno might get a black flag here for beating the leader on the initial start. We'll have to see what happens if he has to peel down onto pit road in the next lap or two. As the field makes their way off of turn number 3. Oh, one car up in the wall hard. That is the 31. I'm sorry, that's the 43 of Dave Hartney hard up into the wall. Stinson spinning down to the inside as well. That's going to bring out our first wreckage rewind of the night as we see exactly what happens. I believe that started with Stinson up in the wall. As I mentioned, the track incredibly slick here tonight. So we see Stinson up on the high side here, making his way into turn number 3. And you see that back end. Yeah, there you go. The back end's starting to come around. See that truck all yawled out as it's coming down the track, down towards Matt Scott. Corrects the truck right up into the door of Dave Hartney. Those two trucks make hard contact with the outside wall. As the field tries to make their way by. Ooh, looks like Brian Merle Jr. got a little piece of something here as well. And Gan Cipher is turning the 31 around as well. So let's see if we can see what happened to Jr. here. Looks like he was slowing down to avoid the wreck and may have made a little bit of contact with the 41. And then Gan Cipher just annihilates the back of the 31 machine. We see the 21 of Richard Hurst involved in that as well. So fortunately, a lot of torn up race trucks on the first lap. And again, not really sure if that 68 machine is going to get any kind of black flag here. Beating the leader to the line, but excitement already happening here in the early laps of our race here at Kansas. A lot of drivers taking the opportunity to make their way down pit road as well. We see Brian Boyd down on pit road, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, Matthew Scott, Matt Allen, all down on pit road, getting some fuel here. Not taking any tires, but just topping off that fuel to ensure that they can make it to the end of the stage. Again, our stage break will be on lap number 40. come down across the stripe. We'll see if the lights indeed do shut off on the pace truck. Devin Butchno going to choose the high lane on this restart. He's going to put Rick Tillman down on the low side in that U.S. Army machine. Then Matt Fritz down in position number 3 with Dave Wright to his outside. In position 4, Riley Gomes. And that's a sweet looking paint job. That is Max McCarty rocking the Ford truck, even though it says 23 on the ticker there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that if you're looking for him up on the scoring pylon. And then Brett Merle and Blaze Richardson back in row number 4. Ryan Gomes, Rick Ward will round out your top 10. As we get ready to go back green flag racing. Pace truck takes that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. We'll ride along here with the 41 as he comes through the gears here. And the green flag is back in here. And a big push from Dave Wright on the back bumper of Devin Butchno as they make their way down into turn number 1. Butchno able to get right down to the bottom of the racetrack. Look from inside the 41 as well. You see the driver cam on the right. A good idea of what the traffic looks like here tonight at Kansas. It's going down in the corner. See, only pretty wheel, really not moving the wheel all that much. That shows just how loose these trucks are as they're pretty much turning on their own, making their way around the racetrack. Right up on the top of the track, and diving down the track, trying to keep that speed up as he works his way up towards the top 15. And Devin Butchno continues to lead over the 14 of Rick Tillman, but Tillman right there on the back bumper trying to make something happen here. As these two trucks are starting to pull away from third place running Dave Wright. Further back, we see that 77 of Brian Boyd working down underneath the 2 of Gannon Seifers, and Eddie Morris right there in the mix, trying to move himself forward as well. Morris already up 6 spots, Seifers up 11 spots. Our biggest movers, though, are Blaze Richardson and Ryan Gomes, both up 12 positions from where they started. Eddie Morris and Brian Boyd now balanced side by side. Come down the front stretch, and Eddie Morris just barely able to sneak out in front of that 77 machine. As Brian Boyd mentioned in the pre-race, he's just trying to take it easy right now and make it the long run speed. He says he's got pretty good long run speed, and on a racetrack this slick, the long run is really the run that you want to have. As you see Chuck Ballas working down underneath his teammate Dave Hartney to take over that 15th position. Back up front, Devin Butchno says Rick Tillman right there on the back bumper. Machine. As our top 4 now nose to tail as they come across the strip. Tillman now down to the inside of Devin Butchno as they're door to door off of turn at number 2. Not able to get the run going, but here comes Dave Wright up on the high side. And Dave trying to move himself around Tillman as Tillman dives back down to the bottom and still fighting for the lead as they come off of turn number 4. Tillman now has the advantage going down into turn number 1. As they continue to be door to door as they come off of turn number 2, and a great run as Devin Butchino has that little bit of help on the outside by his teammate Dave Wright. Tillman not going away, continues to run right down on the door. Oh, little contact made as Devin Butchino is able to hold on to it. Tillman gets loose, he's down to the inside. We stay green flag as Tillman now tries to take the lead. They're 3 wide behind. Riley Gomes jumps up into the 3rd position down on the bottom in that black rifle machine. Here comes the 29 of Matthew Fritz up on the high side as the battle for the lead continues between Tillman and Bacino. Tillman almost washes up the track again into the side of the 68. This time he wisely going to back out of it, and that's going to allow the 29 of Matthew Fritz now to try to battle for that 2nd position up on the high side. Tillman really starting to struggle. Looks like that right front tire got a little angry there in that run as they're 3 wide down into turn number 3. Tillman's just not able to get the truck to turn as well as he was a few laps ago, which tells me that that right front is probably heated up a little bit. It's mad. It's not going to have any grip in it for a few laps while he lets that right front tire cool down just a little bit. Devin Butchino continues to stay out in front over the 29 Matthew Fritz. And if you've not a real big into racing or you're just starting to get into it, as these drivers go down into the corner, they put a lot of strain on the right front tire because that tire is actually sliding. It's taking the brunt of the truck trying to turn. As you see Fritz trying to dive down to the low side. So if you turn a little too hard with the wheel or drive in a little too hard, it can actually heat up that tire, and the more the tire heats up, the less grip it's going to have. The tire starts to get really greasy, and that's what it looks like Tillman's battling right now as he's falling back into the 7th position. And the further back you go, the less aerodynamics you have helping you get that truck to turn. The truck that feels the best out on the racetrack is usually the one that's out in front in clean air. That's what Devin Butchino is dealing with right now. He's got that clean air. It's allowing him to stay out in front. Fritz, though, even though he's got a little bit of dirty air, he's able to cut through that little bit of wake that Devin Butchino's pushing around, and that's allowing him to pull right up to the back bumper. But going into the corner, he doesn't have the downforce on the nose of that truck that 68 has. And that's why he's just not able to get down into the corner as well as Devin is. He follows right in the tire tracks of the 68. As the field is coming up on some lap traffic, our first driver about to go a lap down is the 21 of Richard Hurst. Hurst was caught up in that first incident. It doesn't look like he took his reset, didn't get that backup truck out, so he's down on speed due to aerodynamics, but with the stage coming in about 20 laps, he's probably just trying to stay out there and wait for the caution to try to get that truck fixed back up. A little further back, we see a battle back here. We see the 55 machine of Ryan Gomes, 14 of Rick Tillman and Max McCarty right back here in the mix as well. And further back, we see a battle back here. Matt Scott back in the 14th position. He was so fast early in the run, qualified well finds himself now back in the 14th position, trying to work down underneath the 43 of Dave Hartney. See Cody Moore back here in this pack as well. See Chuck Dallas just barely brushed the wall. That's going to allow Jay Stinson the opportunity to work down underneath that 41 machine. Scott again tries to work down to the inside of Dave Hartney and try to take on two DBC drivers at once. Coming across the stripe, start lap number 23. Cody Moore down to the bottom, 3 wide with Cheeseburger and the 35 of Matthew Scott. Here comes Stinson. Up on that high side, getting out of Cody Moore. He's got a head of steam here. He might try to dive down underneath Cheeseburger down into turn number 1. No, he's going to stay up on the high side. You just saw one truck up in the wall. Brian Boyd makes another move down to the inside, trying to work around the 8 of Eddie Morris to put himself up into the top 10. He's struggling a little bit here in the last few laps. Started off the run well, up 11 positions. Up into the 9th position, but oh, we got one around. Tillman spinning down to the inside. That's going to bring out a caution here. Looks like he is the only truck involved. That brings up our wreckage rewind. Looks like he might have had a little bit of help here. You see Dave Hartney. Looks like he kind of wandered up the track a little bit, right down up into the side of the 14. 14 already had a bit of damage to the right side of that truck from being up in the wall earlier. But just a single truck spin. Looks like he was able to lock it down and keep it off the wall. So he's working his way back through the field, finds himself back in the back of the pack again. So with tires being a premium here, as hot as this race is, well, it looks like everybody's going to make their way down on the pit road, except for Riley Gomes stays out. Blade Richardson stays out. Ryan Gomes stays out as well. Eddie Morris staying out. Matthew Scott, Joey Hickox. Brian Merle Jr. stays on the racetrack as well. Joe Wright. And Richard Hurst is the lucky dog. He's going to make his way all the way around the racetrack. So as the field makes their way off of pit road, the first driver off of pit road is the 68 of Devin Butchino. Matthew Fritz off second, Brett Merle off third, Jay Stinson and Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence are going to line up behind the drivers that stayed out. As we have one driver who was able to get the lucky dog, get himself back onto the lead lap, and that is the 21 of Richard Hurst, who's now making his way down onto pit road. And Riley Gomes is going to take over the lead of this race. Boohoo in the pits getting his juice. Now back in and on the run. There you go, Boohoo. Getting his pit stop done as well. And while we're under caution, I'm going to take a quick pit stop to grab myself another bottle of water, and I'll be right back with you. So as the cars cycle around here under caution, we get ready to restack them, re-rack them, and refire them here at Kansas Speedway. It looks like the lights on the pace truck are off. So we're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Riley Gomes taking the inside lane. Blaze Richardson to the high side. Ryan Gomes and Eddie Morris in row number 2. Then Matthew Scott and Joey Hickox back in row number 3. So fresh tires are more towards the middle of the pack as Devin Butchno back in the 9th position, the first driver off of pit road with fresh tires. Actually, I take that back. Butchno, Brett Murrow, Jay Stinson, and D. Wright. I'm sorry, D. Wright is the first driver on fresh tires. Back in the 14th position. Everybody came down pit road and just took fuel only. So we'll see how those tires work out for that 84 machine as they make their way down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We are back racing. Oh! Big wheel spin out of the 33 of Blaze Richardson as they come down into turn number 1. Matthew Scott up on that high side trying to make something happen as Blaze Richardson finds his way to the front. And here comes Matthew Scott diving down to the bottom. And they're 3 wide behind. Joey Hickox was in the middle of Eddie Morris and Brian Merle Jr. And he washes up the track right in front of Morris. That checks up the 8 machine as, man, look at these drivers all scattered, fighting for position. Oh, big wreck. This is a big one here at Kansas. Dave Wright caught up in it. Cheeseburger, we see the 31 of Stinson involved. Brett Merle, Gannon Cyphers all caught up in it. Devin Butchino was involved. I believe Joe Wright got a piece of that as well. As we take a look here at our wreckage rewind. Take a look here from the blimp, and we see it looks like Brian Merle Jr. just washes up the track a little bit up into the side of the 3 of Joey Hickox. Joey bounces off the wall, comes down into Devin Butchno. Joe Wright getting a piece of it as well, and then from behind we see the 3 of Hickox come back up across the track up into Cheeseburger. Brett Merle, we see 31 Stinson involved. The 127 of Matt Allen gets in the back of Dave Wright as the 11 goes up and over. And man, look at that 57 just drive through there wide open. What a wow, it was just gutsy right there for the 57. This is not normally you would do when you see smoke in the windshield. But we ride along here with Jackson Zog and able to just navigate there. Or Braxton Zog, excuse me, able to navigate through the mess there. So Devin Butchino making a costly error going down on pit road, taking fuel and getting caught up in the incident that just happened here on lap number 31. So we're going to get ready to re-rack them, restack them, and race to the stage end. Who said he spilled his juice? Maybe they slipped on it, and that's a possibility. The track was really slick on that restart. And as we mentioned, those hot tires, those rear tires are nice and warmed up, which don't have the grip that nice cool tires have. And you saw Blaze Richardson spin the tires on the start. Able to get around, though, Riley Gomes to get up into that top spot. We'll have to see how his restart goes here, as Matthew Scott is going to restart in second. Riley Gomes and Ryan Gomes back in row number 2. Then Brian Merle Jr. and Joseph Wright back in row number 3. Devin Butchno with that damage, and Eddie Morris in row number 4. Then Matthew Fritz and the 77 of Brian Boyd in your top 10. As always, we want to thank all of our great partners here on Intensity Broadcasting who makes this series possible, including Morris Customs, our series sponsor. For all your iRacing painting needs, check out Morris Customs on Facebook.com/Morris Customs. Link down below in the description. Of course, our Next Gen series sponsor as well, Devin Butchno over at Dev Sports Cards. Check them out on eBay for all your sports cards and memorabilia needs, as well as Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. Visit raceepi.com and support the channel by visiting intensitybroadcasting.com. We have hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, Atlee Atman Weiss's racing gear as well. It helps, really does help support the channel. So pick up an SCSRA t-shirt as well. We have everything from kid sizes to 5XL. So tune in and check out. You can find the link down below in the description. And of course, as always, our great partner over at Butt Kicker for all your iRacing, for all your gaming haptic needs. Check out thebuttkicker.com. And they don't just have gaming haptics, they have speakers and haptics that you can put in or around your couch for movies and music as well, so you can really feel what you're watching or listening to. So you can check it all out at thebuttkicker.com. But here we go, pace truck back on pit road. Green flag is back in the air. Well, we are back racing. Watch for the wheel spin here on this restart. Everybody gets going pretty well this time. Blaze Richardson up on that high lane. He's going to dive down to the bottom into turn number 1. We have just 4 laps left of the stage. Some more wild racing a little further back as Cody Moore has cracked the top 10 as he goes 3 wide. Devin Butchno in the middle here as well. As the 29 of Matthew Fritz on the bottom, Eddie Morris up on the high lane. Wow, Ganscypher's got really loose off of turn number 4. They're 4 wide down across the stripe as we have 3 laps left of the stage. Brian Boyd trying to find his way through this mess as we see Cody Moore dive through the middle, dives all the way down to the bottom. He gets 3 right there through that corner, and he's going for more as he's down to the inside of Matthew Fritz down the backstretch. Move Cody Moore up into the 6th position. Now Cody is on fresh tires. He did come down and take tires on the last yellow, so you're seeing just how much of a difference those new tires can be as he works up to the high side. Now he's going to dive down low to the bottom. He turned. Ryan Gomes gets turned. Caution is out. That is going to be the stage break. Blaze Richardson is going to get the stage win. And we are going to get ourselves a wreckage rewind. We take a look to see what happened here between the 52 and the 55 as Cody Moore goes to dive down to the bottom. He is down underneath the 55. And I just think that was just 2 drivers occupying the same spot on the racetrack. Unfortunately, the 55 makes hard contact with the outside wall. We see Eddie Morris up in the outside wall as well. Gannon Cyphers gets into the back of the 55. And I saw Brian Merle Jr. got caught up in something here as well. I think he was just trying to lock it down, and yeah, he was just stopping to avoid the wreck. So Blaze Richardson getting the stage win, and that's going to bring the entire field down on the pit road. And as they come off pit road, we'll get a word here with Blaze Richardson. And Dave Hartney staying out on the racetrack. So he was last on pit road on lap 33. So trying to do a little gambling here, keeping himself out there in the lead. Brexton Zog going to come off of pit road in second. Actually, no, he just came around. He got the wave around, so he's going to be in second here. Cody Moore, first driver off of pit road. Looks like he took fuel only, along with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. So Max McCarty also only taking fuel here on this most recent pit stop. So Matthew Scott, the 35, going to be back in the 6th position, the first driver on fresh tires. And not going to be able to pull in Blaze Richardson as not able to pull out of that channel. Let's have a word with our in-car driver here tonight, the 41 of Charles Ballas. Oh, looks like he's talking with his crew right now, and we'll move him down into the broadcasting room. Hey, Charles, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, going to talk with you. You're our in-car driver here tonight. I know the start of the race you got caught up in a little bit of that mess back there. A lot of sliding around there. Talk us through the race so far, though, and how slick this truck is right now.
Yeah, it's been really slick out there, and the longer the run goes, it gets tighter as it goes. So we're just trying to keep the nose clean, and we're up front, up in the top 10. Try to keep it up here for the rest of the race.
Well, good luck the rest of the way out. I saw a little bit of damage on the right side. I know you got that reset still sitting in the pit, so good luck and get that thing back up to the front.
Appreciate it.
There you have it, your in-car driver here tonight, the driver of the 41. Let's ride along with him here as he gets his way through this restart. He's going to be restarting back in the 6th position, so row number 3. As Dave Hartney, the control truck, going to take the outside lane. It's going to put Cody Moore down on the inside. And we see Max McCarty and Cheeseburger Lawrence back in row number 2. So the pace truck dives down on the pit road. Dave Hartney going to lead them down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air, and we are back racing here at Kansas. A great jump for the driver of the 43 as we ride back along with the 41 machine great start for Ballesteros. He's up into the 6th position and trying to hold on here for a top 10. A little further back, we see a Racing. We had Brian Boyd back here in the mix. Gracie says she is on the pink truck. Gracie says she's the pink truck. Imaginations are great. It's amazing what these kids can think up when they can, and it's so much fun to watch them. As we see the 11 of Brett Merle make his way around. The 127 of Matt Allen and Joe Wright trying to make a move now on Allen as well. Ooh, the 9 truck really loose up there. Riley Gomes just had that truck completely sideways for a moment coming through the tri-oval and able to hang on to it. Right now that truck looks like it's a bit of a handful as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. And here comes Brett Merle trying to force it up through the middle here. 3 wide down the front stretch. He's going to tuck it behind the Gomes truck. Back up front, David Hartney continues to lead over Cody Moore as Cody Moore just barely grazes the wall off of turn number 2, and Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence up in the 3rd. So 2 of the DVC drivers up in the top 3 with Wasted Wages in the 2nd position. The other Wasted Wages driver, the 35 of Matt, finds himself back in the 16th position. Battle going on here between Matt Allen and Eddie Morris. Morris down on the low side, trying to get around that 127. That 127 is on a bit of a backward slide right now. You see one driver who has retired from the race. That is the 14 of Tillman. Further up, Matthew Fritz and Chuck Ballas side by side as Fritz is going to make that move down to the inside to take over the 6th spot. Now he's going to fight with Max McCarty for that 5th position. Ballas back to the bottom, going to cross him over here. Drag race him down into turn number 1. We are quickly approaching the halfway mark. David Hardy out in front of Cody Moore by a half a second. See Riley Gomes down on the low side, trying to get around Brett Merle and Chuck Ballas. Go Gator, says boo. He's cheering on the 77 Brian Boyd, who's cracked the top 10. Well, he's got a little battle ensuing behind him with the 82 of Joe Wright as those two are bump drafting down the backstretch, trying to get themselves back up towards the leaders. Part of the race where the tires are starting to equal out. They're starting to, these trucks are really starting to get a little slick out there. I've seen everybody kind of just single file spreading out. As I say that, Brett Merle dives down to the bottom to get around the 41 of Ballas and up into the 7th position. This mess of cars, as I said, everybody driving single file. They must have heard me because now they're back to 2 wide. Ryan Boyd and Eddie Morris look up to the high side. Here's Matt Scott looking down underneath Joe Wright. Dave Wright back here as well. The 127 of Allen, the 3 of Hickok all back here. So these drivers are back here in the Hornet's nest, coming across the stripe. this racing is going on, Dave Hartney has himself a very comfortable lead, just over a second over second place Cody Moore. And Blaze Richardson making his way around Cheeseburger Lawrence. Take over that third position. Michael Lawrence having a great run so far, up into the, been running solidly up in the top 5. He's got Max McCarty looking down to the inside here, trying to put him back into the 5th position. Fritz and Brett Merle also right here as well. More hard racing in the back of the pack. And you see these drivers all over the track, some running high, some running low, some running in the middle of the track. And Kansas is a track where you can run different lines and find lots of different success. You see Brian Boyd working down now to the bottom. Eddie Morris right in front up on the high side. Dave Wright almost comes down into the side of Joey Hickox. You saw some 3-wide racing for a second there. Chucky just currently falling backwards. I think the damage to the right side of that truck is a bit much and really hurting the aerodynamics on that truck as he continues to fall backwards. Max McCarty now has a challenge coming in the form of Matthew Fritz. See a battle here between Brian Boyd, Joe Wright, and Eddie Morris. Joe showed a lot of speed here, but he just hasn't found the right way around as Eddie Morris is currently sliding backwards. I think Morris was just up into the wall. Brian Merle Jr. taking a look down to the inside. Dave Wright going to go along as well. Challenge for the second position. So here goes Matthew, Matthew Fritz around the high side. So move Fritz up into the 3rd position. And Blaze Richardson up in 2nd. He is running down the 43 of Dave Hartney. Last time by, Richardson was 0.3 of a second faster. We are just past the halfway mark. 50 laps to go. In the chat, Boohoo just went to get a magic marker to write Boyd's truck number on the side of his box because Gracie put the pink truck number on her side of her box. So the kids having some fun here tonight, and that's what we like to see. As a battle for the leads shaping up between Dave Hartney and Blaze Richardson. Richardson down to the bottom, trying to take over that top spot. Hartney, though, on that high side, able to get that momentum to roll off the corner and stay out in front for now. Richardson, though, down back to the bottom. And the tires on that 33 truck are just a little bit newer than the 43. By only about 6 or so laps, but that can mean the difference as we're seeing Blaze Richardson able to pull right up on the back bumper of Dave Hartney, but just was not able to clear him. So it's one thing to catch a driver, it's another thing to get around him. And these trucks in the dirty air, you're seeing just that as Richardson catches the apron just a little bit, trying to get that truck to turn. A little further back, you see Matt Scott working down underneath Brett Merle, trying to take over the 8th position. He will successfully put himself in the 8th position as Brian Boyd looking down to the inside of Riley Gomes. Down to the bottom. See Matt Scott right behind, really working that apron, trying to shorten the track as much as he can. And oh, Boyd makes some contact hard into the outside wall, him and Gomes. A lot of damage to both the 9 and the 77. As we see the right side of that truck is all scraped up. Looks like Boyd might have got a little tight there off the corner. That allowed, that got him in the 9 together. Now we see that 77 starting to fall back through the field with that heavy right side damage. Meanwhile, Brett Merle working to the outside of Matt Allen, trying to take over that 10th spot. Ooh, one driver hard in the outside wall. That was the 4 of Max McCarty. See Joe Wright and Brian Boyd battling at it. Is Boyd able to gather himself back up here? Looks like he's trying to make a move back towards the front. So I don't know how much damage there is to the right side of that truck. We'll see it as it comes by. And you see the right side of that 77 scraped up pretty good. That is really going to hurt the aerodynamics of that 77 machine. But right now he's able to hang pretty tight here with McCarty and Joe Wright. Brian just hoping to get to that yellow, that next pit cycle, trying to get that truck fixed up. Joey Hickok's up on that high side running side by side with Matt Scott. It looks like Hickox has been up into the wall a little bit as well. We'll see that truck as it comes by next time. We'll take a look at the right side, see if it has some damage here as he comes down across the stripe. Looks like it's pretty clean, that 3 machine, so he's able to continue to march forward. As Dave Hartney getting another challenge here from the 29 of Matthew Fritz. And Blaze Richardson in this mix here as well, so Fritz has now gotten around Blaze, and he's going to try to battle for the lead here as we got our first driver on the pit road. It is the 13 of Brian Merle Jr. making his way down on the pit road. And oh, some contact between Dave Hartney in the 29. Hartney's able to hold on to the lead for now after that contact. Great save for the 29 of Matthew Fritz as he's going to look around the high side here. I think Hartney's just going to let him have it this time. Hartney's going to fall back into the second position as Blaze Richardson now tries to battle to the outside of the 43. It looks like Hartney's going to make his way down on the pit road. And right behind Cody Moore also coming down on the pit road. Max McCarty coming down on the pit road. So a bunch of drivers making their way down on the pit road. We see Braxton Zog also on pit road. Looks like he might have had some issues coming down onto pit road. We pick up the 57 trying to make his way. He's really high on the racetrack and yeah, just locks him up trying to get down to pit road speed. Almost loses it. Very tough pit road to get onto for sure. See Ryan Gomes on pit road. Or on and off of pit road, excuse me. So for drivers like Fritz and Richardson, Joey Hickox, they all pit a little bit later. Joe Wright, that's Matthew Scott that was on pit road on lap 41. He was one of the later ones on pit road. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence making his way down on the pit road. Scoring pile on here if anybody else makes their way down on the pit road. Yep, Brian Boyd down on the pit road. He should be taking his reset to get that truck fixed back up. Charles Ballas also down on the pit road. And you see these drivers really struggling to get their trucks woed down to get on the pit road. Here comes Matthew Fritz slowing down to make his pit stop as well. It's going to give the lead to Joey Hickox. Blaze Richardson by as well. So Matthew Fritz, Eddie Morris, Rick Ward, Devin Butchino, Riley Gomes, David Wright all on pit road. Sounds like Joey Hickox is going to be slowing down here to hit pit road as well. Blaze Richardson, Joe Wright, Matthew Scott. Oh, Matt Allen catches the inside wall trying to get it woed down on the pit road. That will not bring out the caution though, as Matthew Fritz was able to get down and away. And Ryan Gomes is going to take over the race lead. And I take that back. Gomes has not been down on pit road yet. So you're seeing the difference tires make as here comes Cody Moore coming to blow around the 55 on the high side. As here comes Gomes coming down on the pit road this time. And that's going to put the 52 of Cody Moore out into the lead. Joey Hickox just making his way off pit road. Matthew Fritz is going to be your second place driver after pit stops have cycled through. And he is 3.5 seconds behind Cody Moore. Dave Hartney up in the third position. Brett Merle and Max McCarty round out your top 5. Brian Merle Jr. up in the 6th spot, having a great run here. The fresh tires and a fresh truck. Then Joey Hickox back in 7th. Blaze Richardson in 8th. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence and Joseph Wright make up your top 10 as Brian Boyd trying to look to the high side of Wright. Meanwhile, up front, we see a battle here between Max McCarty and Brett Merle, and Brian Merle is a battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Honda says that they had a pile up of their own. Gracie collided with Boo Boo, got it into your truck. Their juices went flying as they rounded the fire case, so excitement all over the racetrack and off the racetrack as well. Meanwhile, up front, Cody Moore, and it sounds like Cody's trying to save some fuel. Let's ride along here with the 52, and you'll hear him shutting the truck off as he goes down into the corner. Maybe not. Maybe he wasn't trying to save fuel. Maybe it's another truck out there trying to save a little bit of fuel. Out there running full bore. So I thought maybe Cody was trying to save a little bit of fuel. Maybe he just wanted to save a lap or two. Eddie Morris looking up to the high side of his teammate Joe Wright. Trying to crack up into the top 10. Brian Boyd running right behind Joe Wright as well. And Boyd mentioned he had that long run speed, and he showed it earlier in the race. Now he's battling with Joe Wright for that 11th position. As Dave Hartney has the 23 of Max McCarty right there on the back bumper. And Joey Hickox having some issues as Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence is able to go right on by. And it looks like Hickox has a little bit of damage to the right front of that truck, maybe. See the damage on the front of that truck. Looks like he might have been up into somebody here. As you can see here what happened to the 3 is, oh, he ran into the back of the 57, and that's what did all the damage. Go back and look at this one again as the 57 caught the wall right in front of the 3, and with nowhere to go, that's what caused all the damage to the front end of the 3 machine and why he's falling back right now. Joe Wright now looking down to the inside of the 34. That is Rick Ward, who is a lap down. He's gotten around Brian Boyd, him and Eddie Morris both clearing Boyd, and these two right now are on a bit of a tear. Meanwhile, up front, Cody Moore getting past for the lead from Matthew Fritz. Right along here with Cody. I do believe that Cody is trying to save a little bit of fuel here to make it to the end. I don't think he thinks he's got enough to make it all the way. Wow, Max McCarty and Blaze Richardson battling for the final podium spot. And Dave Hartney riding back in the 5th position, trying to make his way up into this mix as well. And Joey Hickox has come down on the pit road. He knows that damage is not going to allow him the speed he needs to hold on. So might as well come down pit road. Try to battle for the lucky dog if the caution was to come out. I'm sure he's got a reset here. As Matthew Fritz continues the battle, or continues to lead here over Cody Moore, who's now fallen back to just about a second and a half. When Fritz crosses the line this time, we'll have just 20 laps to go, as we see the 21 of Richard Hurst making his way around the leader to get one of his laps back. Actually, that is going to put Hurst just 1 lap down, so a huge move for that 21. As now he is currently in the lucky dog position. I take that back. Hurst is now on the lead lap. So the 35 of Matthew Scott is the lucky dog, 2 laps down. As the 29 of Matthew Fritz continues to lead. Check back in with the 41 of Chuck Balance. Balance, excuse me. Currently runs back in the 15th position. You see just how much he's moving that wheel around right now, trying to, not really moving it much, telling me that the truck's still pretty hooked up right now. Not really cranking a whole lot of wheel into that truck right now, holding a pretty wheel, and currently running in the 5th position as Brian Merle Jr. has now hit pit road. Looks like this is going to be his final stop of the night. Just looking to top off on the fuel, I'm sure. Looks like, oh no, he's going to get some tires here. So tires for the 13 machine. With just 18 laps to go. Brett Merle, Michael Cheeseburger, Lawrence battling side by side. This is a battle for the 7th spot. As Cheeseburger's going to take over that 7th spot. How about Joe Wright driving himself up into 6th? He's been on a tear this past run, and I don't think fuel is going to be much of a matter here. E.T. Drone Holmes says, hey, my man Boyd is in the top 10. Yeah, Brian Boyd currently running in the 10th spot. Just joining us running a special scheme for the kids watching at home as Boyd right there on the back bumper of Eddie Morris. And we got the battle at the right time as Boyd's going to take a look down to the inside of that 8 machine. Tuck back in behind Eddie for now and make the move yet again with just 15 laps to go. Great battle out on track still between Eddie Morris and Brian Boyd. just about clear of Eddie, but Eddie's still continuing to fight back up on that high side. They're coming up on the slower truck of Brett Merle. So they're going to try to use him as a bit of a pick as Boyd tucks back in behind Eddie, and he's going to try to set him up here down into turns 1 and 2. And again, Boyd's going to have to tuck back in line as Eddie's going to look down to the inside of Brett Merle and try to take over that 9th position. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night right here on Intensity Broadcasting for the Dev Sports Cards Next Gen Series. Happy at least we'll have the call for that one as the Next Gen Series gets ready to take on Hot Atlanta. Not the new Atlanta, but the old Atlanta. So bumpy, tire-eating Atlanta. You're not going to want to miss that one. So tune in tomorrow night here on Intensity Broadcasting. This battle is continuing here between Eddie Morris and Brian Boyd. Now it's a battle for 8th as they were able to get around the 11 of Brett Merle. This battle continues, and right behind we see Brian Merle Jr. on those fresh tires, making his way. It looks like he's going to split Eddie and Brian here off of turn number 4. And there you have it. That's exactly what fresh tires will do. We have 10 laps to go. Matthew Fritz out in front. Cody Moore, 2.5 back in second. Blaze Richardson back in third. Max McCarty about to lose the 4th spot to Joe Wright, who's driven himself up into the top 5. And he's been showing some very stout speed these last few laps. As these two continue the battle. Homa said, "Mom say thank you for involving their little ones. Kids have been through so much. Tell Eddie and the others thank you." Of course, we want to get those kids involved as much as we can, as Brian Boyd has now made himself, or gotten himself around Eddie Morris and up into the 8th position solidly. Here comes Joe Wright looking down to the inside of Max McCarty. And Joe Wright's going to drive up into the 4th spot. Now with 8 laps to go, 5-second gap between him and 3rd place Blaze Richardson. Will Witt says, "Come on, Cody, get him." And Cody now still about 1.5 seconds back behind Matthew Fritz. And I think Cody, looking at the lap times, is just in fuel conservation mode. There's somebody shutting off the motor. That might have been Blaze Richardson shutting off the motor, trying to save a little bit of fuel. We'll ride along here to see who it is that's shutting their truck off. It's Cody. So there you go. Cody trying to save a little bit of fuel to make it to the end of the race. Sounds like he's going to be just a little bit short. Blaze Richardson right behind. Let's see if the 33 shutting his truck off at all, if he's got enough fuel to make it to the end. Now we hear that truck continue to stay running. So if we look at the pit strategies here, that's the tail of the tape right there. Matthew Fritz last on pit road, lap 76. Cody 4 laps earlier on 72. Richardson and Wright both on 77. And Max McCarty also in on 72. So those are the drivers that are going to be pretty close on fuel, I think, coming to the end of this. Richard Hurst and Charles Balance battling right now. This is a battle for the 15th position. And this is right in front of our leader. As a leader, this is the last thing you want to see is two drivers battling it out. Now Fritz is able to get around, and now Brett Merle coming down pit road with 4 laps to go. So another driver who is in on lap 72 going down pit road to get that splash of fuel. Across the line, rookie Matt Fritz, 3 laps to go. And this could be our first rookie winner of the season. And 2 rookies up on the podium here tonight as Matthew Fritz and Blaze Richardson run first and third. Right in front of Fritz, he sees another battle on track between Allen and Richard Hurst as Hurst makes his way right around the 127. And another driver making his way out on pit road. That is the 4 of Max McCarty. And Dave Hartney also down on pit road. He was not going to be able to make it on fuel. So the only driver out there who's really trying to stretch it is Cody Moore. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence was on pit road last on 74, so he might be trying to stretch it a little bit here as well. Fuel mileage race here in the SCSRA as we are on the final lap, 1 lap to go. Matt Fritz out in front of Blaze Richardson now has made his way around Cody Moore. Cody's out of fuel. Cody out of fuel coming down the backstretch. He's going to lose a position to Joe Wright. That's going to put Joe Wright up on the podium as Matthew Fritz makes his way through turns 3 and 4. And in a fuel mileage race here at Kansas, Matthew Fritz gets the checkered flag. Blaze Richardson comes across the line second. Joe Wright, the SCSRA veteran, brings it home P3. Brian Boyd brings it home 1 spot short of the podium in 4th. And Devin Bucciano, after being caught up in an early incident, rounds out your top 5. But how about Matthew Fritz here, man? Getting the win here tonight. A rookie driver in the SCSRA. It's been a long time since we've had a rookie driver. As see Cody Moore still trying to coast down to the start-finish line. As we get our top 3 at the start-finish line for the picture. Cody Moore just sneaking on through as well. Matthew Fritz is going to celebrate his victory here tonight at Kansas. Before he celebrates, though, let's take a look at the finishing order. And Matthew Fritz getting the win. Blaze Richardson, Joe Wright, your top 3. Brian Boyd and Devin Bucciano, top 5. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence brings home 6. Eddie Morris, 7th. Riley Gomes, 8th. Dave Wright, 9th. And Matt Allen at your top 10. Cody Moore brings it home 11th out of fuel. Richard Hurst in 12th. Charles Ballas 13th. Brian Merle Jr. and Max McCarty your top 15. And we'll let our winner celebrate here. And Matthew Fritz gets the win here tonight at Kansas. He blows that engine up for that Venom Motorsports machine. Let's take a look at the rest of the results. 16th, Brett Merle. Dave Hartney brings home his 17th. 18th was Matthew Scott. 19th, Ryan Gomes and Rick Ward round out the top 20. Joey Hickcock's having a rough night back in 21st. Braxton Zog, 22nd. Jay Stinson, Gannon Cyphers, and Rick Tillman round out the field here tonight at Kansas. As we get ready to talk to our top 3. starting with our third place finisher, and that is the 82 of Joe Wright. Joe, you got Josh on the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, what a wild run here tonight. Kind of caught in the back a little bit. Looked like you were saving your stuff there. And a fuel mileage race, we see Joe Wright up in the top three. That's pretty much par for the course there. Talk about your race, though, because it seemed like the track was really slick out there. And there was a lot of beating and banging out there as well.
Yeah, man. Great night altogether. I mean, yeah, I think P4 at the stage. I was riding at the back there early on, trying to save enough fuel to get to the end of the stage. I think everybody would have kind of been short if it wasn't for the caution. And then everybody hits pit road, puts me in a good position to get some good points there. And then Merle and Bacino, I think wrecked or Merle hit somebody or something there. I got caught up in that, had a little bit of damage, but still pretty stout vehicle. They only had 11 seconds worth of damage. Was able to claw my way up to fifth before that last stop, and kind of saved a little bit of fuel early on in that run to make it just enough to make it. As you know, I'm always looking at what the best strategies are, and so able to steal a little podium position there with Cody running out of fuel. I would have still been about fourth, I think, without that. I still had some speed. If we had 10 more laps, I think I could have done something with it.
That was going to be my next question. Were you kind of hoping for a late race caution there to kind of get yourself caught back up to these guys and try to make a run at it?
I would have hit pit road and got my last set of tires that I still had sitting there too, and definitely would have been sending it for sure. But man, it was a fun race. Memorial Day weekend this past weekend, on my hood I had my grandfather who passed the year I was born, so big ups to him and thanks for his service. Memorialized the year I was born, he died. So.
Yeah, I was just about to ask about that truck there, so thanks for bringing it up for me and stealing my question. But no, but man, awesome job here tonight in the truck series. And before we let you go, anyone want to thank any shout you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to the Neon Racing boys, man. I think we probably still have some of the best drivers in the sim and or in the league, I mean, and definitely doing well every single week. It was nice to bounce back from a really crappy week last week to a great finish here in the top three. So that's about it. That's all I got.
Well, again, great job. It's amazing what you do when you finish the race. So congrats on the podium.
I hate you. I hate you.
I had to say it. You would have said it to me. So great job on the podium, and good luck in the next one.
Thanks, man.
Have a great night. So that was our third place finisher, Joe Wright. How about our second place finisher, the 33 of Blaze Richardson? Let's pull him into the booth. Blaze, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Josh.
Man, what a run for you here tonight. First off, our biggest mover of the race, up 17 positions from where you started to get yourself up on the podium. I believe this is your second or third podium of the season so far. So having a great rookie season. Talk us through the race, though. As I was talking with Joe, it seemed like it was really slick out there. Drivers were kind of trying to fight for control of their trucks all night long. Was that something that you were fighting tonight as well?
Yeah, on fresh tires, it weren't really too bad, but then about 10, 15 laps into the run, you can just instantly feel it. You'll drop like a tenth a lap, and then every lap it just continues to get worse and worse and worse. But yeah, I was lucky enough to have two or three cautions in that first stage, so I was lucky to save some gas and able to get first in the stage. But yeah, I'll take a podium finish too for the rest of the race. Good run tonight.
There was one part of the race where I'm sure your heart jumped up into your throat, and that was on one of the restarts. You're restarting there on the outside, and the rear end just completely broke loose on you. Was that kind of one of those pucker moments there, or was it really that slick on the restart on the hot tires?
Oh, it definitely was slick. Yeah, it started in second gear, and I didn't really think to just ease into it. I just smashed the throttle, and yeah, about sent it to the outside wall. Oh, yeah, that was pretty scary right there, but I'm glad I kept it straight.
Well, a great finish for you here tonight. Awesome racing all around, able to stretch that fuel there to the end. And before I let you go, Blaze, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank all like my friends and family that watch me do all this. Couldn't do it without their support. You for hosting this broadcast, Devin and all the admins for hosting the league, racing every week. Yeah, it's pretty much it. Just having a blast doing this. Hope I can just continue to keep up front.
Well, having a great rookie season so far. Looking forward to seeing what the rest of the season brings for you. I know next week we move on to, I just had the schedule and I lost it because that's what happens to me all the time. Watkins Glen doubleheader next week. So how do you like the road course, and what's your strategy going to be for that?
Well, I've always been told racing's turning left, but I guess I'm going to have to try to turn right for once.
Well, it is, for those who don't know, and I'll let the rookies in on this too, the doubleheader works. We have a single race, and then we have a full invert for the second race. So good luck next week at Watkins Glen. We look forward to seeing what you can do there, and good luck the rest of the season out.
Righty, I appreciate it. Take it easy, man.
Have a great night. So that was your second place finisher, Blaze Richardson. Let's bring in your winner here tonight, the driver of the 29 machine, rookie Matthew Fritz. Matthew, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Man, what a run here tonight. I think this is the first time we've had a rookie win in the last 3 seasons. So awesome job to you here tonight. Bit of a fuel mileage race, but that doesn't change things. The fact that you just drove through the field there on that last stint. Talk us through your race here, especially your strategy to get yourself here in victory lane.
Yeah, it was a crazy race. Some wrecks in the beginning. I had to miss a couple of those, and yeah, drove the top line to. I was always I'm not a big bottom guy, so I love the top line of Kansas, and I was saving some fuel at the end, but I was 1 lap to the good, so.
So you were definitely hoping that caution didn't come out. Was that in the back of your mind, though? Because I know when I'm leading a race like that late in the race, caution's always kind of in the back of the mind there. Was that something you were worried about, or were you thinking if that was to come out, you still had yourself a good chance here tonight?
Oh, yes, I was very worried about it. I was just hoping to get that white flag, and I know that I can just coast home.
Well, awesome job here tonight. I'm going to ask you the same question I just asked Blaze, because being a rookie, how do you like your chances next week at the good old road course at Watkins Glen?
Well, I do love road course racing, so we'll see what we can do. Hopefully a top 5 for the team.
Yep, the doubleheader, as I just told Blaze, doubleheader next week. So basically 2 races, full invert for the second race. So that's going to be an exciting one as well. So good luck next week at the road course. And again, congratulations on your win. And before we let you go, Matthew, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
My teammates helped me a lot this race. Joey Hickox, Jay Stinson, and Richard Hurst, and Manny Reyes, and Epilepsy Foundation on the truck.
Yeah, we got a shout out here in the chat. I'm going to read for you from Southern Broadcast Gaming Network. It says Venom Racing for the win. Nancy Hickok says, good job, Matthew. Congratulations. Great run here tonight. So couple shout outs in the chat here tonight for you. So again, great run and good luck next week at Watkins Glen.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate the shout out, guys.
Have a great night.
See you.
So you have your winner here tonight, Matthew Fritz, getting the win in a bit of a fuel mileage race here at Kansas. Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for the Dev Sports Cards series, the Dev Sports Cards Next Gen series here on Intensity Broadcasting from the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. Again, don't forget to check out our great partners. Morris Customs, our truck series sponsor. Dev Sports Cards, our Next Gen sponsor. IntensityBroadcasting.com for all your Intensity swag, novelty t-shirts, and Atman Reese's racing gear as well. For all your iRacing setups and coaching needs, visit raceapi.com. Of course, don't forget to check out our great partner over at The Butt Kicker. And as always, as our boy Ali Atman Weiss would say, don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. And over and out.